Welcome everyone to today's video featuring Bluestar OS. So this is the latest version that just recently came out, and as you can see we're at the desktop here. I tried looking for an official website but I did not find any, but that's okay. So right off the bat, as you can see, this is a pretty interesting look. This distro features the KDE desktop environment. And so let's see what we have. So right here we have some weather, which is pretty nice. Right here we have hard disk space usage. So you can configure these widgets. You can get rid of them if you want to or not, but I think that it's a pretty cool feature. Right here you can access the installer itself, which, as in the previous videos, I will not be installing the actual system. I'll just be giving it a quick look, giving it a quick overview. What's pretty cool is that right here you have the home folders, so you can access the desktop folder, which I'm pretty sure this is it. And then you have the other typical ones like documents, downloads, music, pictures, videos. So yeah, so if you take a look at the top here, you can see that it comes with a panel, and as you can see, it's not full size, so I think you can fix that. Or let's see here, let's see which option. Okay, so for some reason it's not full size, but the thing that I think would be annoying with a panel like this is that when you put like any kind of program or whatever in full screen and then you try to access the panel, it kind of gets in the way, especially if this extends to the very end and you're trying to exit out of the program or something like that, then it gets pretty annoying. So yeah, but if you don't like the way the panel is configured, what you have to do is you have to click unlock widgets. And now you can actually access the settings, go to more settings, and then make it always visible. And also let's maximize the panel. I think this would be a lot better and a lot less distracting when doing this overview. Alright, so here at the bottom we have the latte dock, which this is pretty nice. So if you have an application open, you could just go down here and just click on show desktop. So this is always a good feature, and I think it's pretty nice adding it to the dock instead of the panel itself. Then you have workspaces, panel spacer, so this is just to kind of divide the categories, I guess, your programs and files in comparison to these other extra features. You got a lock/log out, and then trash can feature for removing your files. You have quick access to your settings, but you can also access your settings and whatnot from your menu right here. We'll be taking a look at the settings real quick, but let's see what else. So there's Pigeon Internet Messenger for default web browser. We have Firefox and Thunderbird for the mail. FileZilla, OpenOffice, VLC, GIMP, and Console is the default terminal, which this is actually pretty cool. So as you can see, this is actually based on Arch Linux and it's a rolling release, so that's pretty nice. And let's see, it's probably has Octopi. Yep. So the default package manager is Octopi. So here you can install your updates and various packages. Let's see if let's see really quick if there's pamac. Nope, but if you really want pamac, you can just do sudo pacman -S and then pamac. Okay, why is it not working? Okay, so That's kind of weird as to why it's not working. I think maybe the reason why is because if I go back to Octopi, which actually I think I found a new feature. So if you start typing out the desktop, you get this cool search feature right here. It's pretty nice. So probably have to go to the repository editor, or no, hold on, let's see the options. Alright, let's enable all these. But I don't see why Pacman would need those extra repositories, or PAMAC. Alright, so while that's loading up, let's take a look at the settings. So for the workspace theme, as you can see, we have a bunch of different themes which are nice. So let's test this out. Okay, so it resets the panel back to normal. Let's see, let's take a look at this again. See if it's gonna work. Alright, whatever. Well, it worked last time. I really don't get why it's not working right now. So you know, this is a pretty nice theme, but essentially what these given themes change for you, it's really not much. You can see the widgets are the same, the icons are the same. Same thing for the panel itself. It just changes your wallpaper, which if you go here and click configure desktop, you have a bunch of wallpapers pre-installed. So I think I want to test this one out. Let's take a look at it. Alright, that looks pretty nice. Alright, let's get the panel back to the way it was. So more settings, always visible, and then maximize the panel. Okay, that looks much better. So let's go back to the settings. Okay, so the desktop theme, this is haven't used KDE in a while, so I think, okay, so this works with the panel and the widgets as well. So if you want to change that, you have various options, but we'll just go with the default look for now. And this is so bright you can hardly see this widget. Let's see if I can move it. Yeah, I don't really know how to move it. Alright, so for cursor theme, you have the default breeze ones, you have this, KDE Classic, and then you have a bunch of oxygen cursor themes. So I'm just going to go with the yellow one because it kind of fit the bright theme that we have here. And then for splash screen, you can choose whichever one you want to kind of fit the theme going. We'll just choose this. Alright, so for colors, which affects the windows, so this displays a preview of what it's going to look like. So let's try this one. Alright, this doesn't look bad. I think this actually fits the title bar theme more. Fonts, you have the options if you want to change them, but I typically never change them. Then for icons, so this is the compass theme, which I think looks very nice. I really like how uniform everything is and how everything follows like a specific design, like everything is like square shaped. So, but of course, if you want to get new themes, you can always do them from here, and then you can just install them and they should appear and you can apply them easily. For application styles, so this is how the windows look using Oxygen. So here are the various different window styles. Let's take a look at this one. Alright, so that doesn't really fit the theme too much. Let's try this. Alright, this looks much better. And then for window decorations here, you can check out the various different title bars, title bar themes. And you can also configure each theme separately, which is nice. Alright, let's just keep it like that. And then just like how KDE is, you have a bunch of settings here that you might want to take a look at. So these are all the extra settings, which I won't be going into all of them because that's just going to take too long. So let's take a look at the start menu and let's see. Let's actually change it to the to different. Okay. Okay, so I accidentally moved the VirtualBox window. Okay, so for applications we have, for development we have these ones. For games, there's really not much games. I mean, if you want games anyway, then Steam's your go-to client. For graphics, so you have a random paint program. This is interesting, I've never seen it. So I'm assuming that this is a KDE program, so this is actually pretty nice. This pretty much mimics the Microsoft Paint. Okay, let's take a look at the other graphics. Photo album, more applications, color chooser, and screen ruler. So this is part of the settings. For internet, we have a BitTorrent client. There's Skype as well. So there's two browsers. So the main one, because it's featured here, is Firefox, but you also have the Conquer web browser. So this is a KDE web browser, which you can take a look at. And again, as I was saying before, like right now, if this was the original panel, it would get pretty annoying due to the fact that your system, like title bar buttons are right here, so it would get pretty annoying for you to try to exit out, for example, from the web browser, and then your panel is just going to appear and get in the way. So it's much better to just keep it like this, but of course it's personal preference. Multimedia, let's see, so there's audio player, disc burning, media and music player, which are a must. So this isn't too minimalistic here. There's plenty of programs, but plenty of programs that I could like do without, honestly. So you got your office programs here. Oops. Alright. Then settings, you can access some settings here. So this was what I clicked, the control panel. So I've never used this program. Okay. But of course, if you want to access your settings and whatnot, you can easily do that through here, for example. Okay, so system. Of course, here you have the Octopi and then the file manager and the terminal. It's just, again, I just don't get why PAMAC wasn't able to be installed. I know it's not, I don't think it's it has to do with the repositories, honestly. Because I did try this out earlier and it did work. So, oh, you got a system cleaner. That's pretty nice. So you can clean all these stuff up with a simple click of a button. That's pretty nice. All right, let's go back to system. So you can customize the bootloader grub to make it look how you want. You can customize it. got a partition editor, process viewer. Also, let's take a look at the system monitor. So alright, so keep in mind that what you're looking at right here is on a virtual machine, but this is how much memory it's using out of the 8 gigabytes that I gave my virtual machine. So not bad. It's less than a gigabyte, so you know, for KD this is nice. Utilities. So you got the dock that you can see right here. Hex editor, you know. System cleaner again, text editor, so it has Vim. And there's an upgrade notifier. So you have plenty of applications here. But I do think that this might be a bit too much for someone. Like if you want like something minimalistic, but I think it might give that option here. So it could, like, I haven't tried the installer, but it could give you an option for something more minimalistic. But I do think that it's nice, you know. Some people do want to have a lot of programs pre-installed, but someone, for example, like if you don't edit photos or anything, like the paint that it had that mimicked the MS Paint and GIMP, for example, like if you don't photo edit, then you won't really need these programs, for example. But it's not even just these ones, like there are just plenty of others that are kind of unnecessary. So that's also what makes the file size larger, which I think the ISO was like 2.5 gigs. So but apart from that, I think that you know, it's nice, considering it's based on Arch. That's already a plus. Considering it's a rolling release makes it even better. It features as its default package manager Octopi. Again, I don't know why Pamic didn't want to be installed, but that's how I installed it last time. And yeah, I really don't know why it didn't work, but I do personally prefer Pamic. Sudo, yeah, I don't know. I'll definitely take a look at this after I'm done. But apart from that, yeah, it's got a nice look and feel. The only thing I didn't like by default was the fact that the panel auto hides. With some desktop environments is better, like for example with XFCE, if it auto hides, like when you put the mouse it appears right away. So I like the responsiveness of it, whereas this kind of felt a bit sluggish in comparison. But on top of that, again, if it's at the top especially and you auto hide it, like let me show you, for example. So let's do auto hide, and let's maximize this window. Let's say I want to close it. As you can see, this is kind of getting in the way, like not always, but sometimes it does get in the way. So it can be pretty annoying, but the good thing is that you can easily change that. It's got some widgets on the desktop by default, but you can easily remove them just like this, and you can bring them back easily. So you can remove that, remove this. Like if you're into simplicity, then you could just easily remove everything. But that's pretty much it. You know, it's a pretty neat distro. I recommend you check it out. If you're a minimalist, then maybe this might not be for you, but I do think that it still is nonetheless a distro that is worth checking out. And it's, like I said, it's pretty creative with its approach, and I think it's definitely worth checking out. So yeah, that was pretty much it. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.